Army has said that they have killed several terrorists, including the launch commander of terrorist groups during a counter-infiltration operation along the LOC yesterday. According to Army, Bashir Ahmad Malik was involved in infiltration of large number of terrorists, and his killing is a severe blow to terrorist groups in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Malik was operating from PoK for last 30 years, according to what the Army has said. I'm also being joined at this point by my colleague Nazir Masoodi. Nazir, thank you for joining us. Very important information coming out, being given out by the Army. Please put this in context for us. What are the details?
Well, yesterday Army and police said that a major infiltration bid has been foiled in Uri sector in which 2 militants have been killed. Today Army organized a press conference and wherein Colonel Raghav talked about how big this infiltration attempt was. According to Army, several militants have been killed in this infiltration attempt that was foiled by the Army, but bodies of only 2 militants have been recovered. Importantly, what Army said, one of those who have been killed is Bashir Ahmed Malik, one of the longest serving militant commander who, according to Army, was a launch commander of militant groups operating from PoK, and he was involved in sending or pushing in large number of militants into Jammu and Kashmir for last several years. And according to Army, killing of Bashir Ahmed Malik at the LOC is a severe blow to the militant groups in PoK, and they are also supporters in Kashmir Valley as well. Army has said that large cache of arms and ammunition have been recovered from the site of encounter. This operation, counter-infiltration operation, had started yesterday morning. Police had said that 2 militants have been killed, but yesterday their identity was not ascertained, and today, according to Army, identity of one of the militant bodies who have been recovered has been established as Bashir Ahmed Malik, who was operating in PoK for last 30 years. Imagine, for 3 decades, someone coming back and getting killed along the line of control. And Army said he was the launch commander of militant groups in the PoK involved in sending large number of militants into the valley.
Right. Nazir Masoodi, just for the larger picture, Nazir, with what's happening in the valley, with these counter operations, with anti-terror operations that are happening, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir, in the larger context, how does one see this in the current scenario?
Well, there are 2 aspects. One is the militancy, which has been contained to a great extent in the hinterland, in the valley, where we see the lowest ever recruitment into the local recruitment into the militant ranks has been recorded. According to police, this was just 10 militants this year, and 6 of them have already been killed. Then there's a threat of the infiltration from across the border. So the large number of infiltration attempts have been foiled. But killing someone who, according to Army, was behind sending militants into the valley means actually getting the source of those who are actually sending militants into the valley. That, according to Army, is an important thing, and it is a severe blow. What Army has mentioned, it is a severe blow to militant groups operating from PoK. So clearly, their attempts from across the border send more militants into the valley, and Army said even as the winter has set in, there are still attempts to push in militants, which explains the desperation of militants and their tenders across the border. But we have seen there's synergy between the Army and the Jammu and Kashmir Police. Many of the operations which have happened, counter-infiltration operations, which were earlier exclusive domain of the Army, is happening now jointly with the Jammu and Kashmir Police in such operation. This encounter has happened yesterday, where Army said several militants have been killed, but bodies of only 2 have been recovered because of the close proximity of this encounter site at the line of control.
Right. Nazir, thank you very much for joining us with those details.